Hi, Pratima. How are you doing, Pratima?
Yeah, good evening, Anil. I'm good. Thank you.
People are joining in. Hi, Amrita. Hi, Amrita. How are you? Are you able to hear, Amrita? Welcome, Sri Ranjini.
Yes, now I am able to hear and see. Okay.
Yes. Pratima, Sri Ranjini, would you like to switch on your videos? A lot of excitement, huh? Amrita, in these few days.
I am hoping I can join the main class. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Somebody who comes in the RAC or wait list over there.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? I might even forego it. Let's see. I don't know. It all depends on that moment, how I feel.
Mm. Mm. Hi, Shivani. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Anil. I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Just waiting for a few more people to join. Then
Yes,
we'll get
yes.
started. Hello, Pravina. Had you just done one good thing, आदत डाली है वीडियो ऑन रखने की सबको.
Karma comes back ना खुद नहीं रखेंगे तो हमारे कॉल में कौन रखेगा?
Exactly.
So better to respect the person who is speaking until unless there is some emergency. That's my rule.
Yeah. Pratima, Pravina, may I request you to switch on your videos? So, by the way, this is being also transmitted live to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube altogether. 3 platforms at the same time. Right. We'll see. Okay, LinkedIn is giving a problem. Okay. Anyways, it is live definitely on. Welcome, Rinku. Welcome, Saurav.
Hello,
People are still
Anil.
turning in. Please switch on your videos.
Yes, yes, please.
Welcome, Dr. Shaila. Welcome, Anjulata. Welcome, Uma.
Oh, sorry.
Saurav, Dr. Shaila, Manjulata, Sanjay, Uma. May I request you to switch on your videos, please? Pravina. There. Hi, Ashwin, welcome. Please switch on your video.
Sir, there is no power in my place, sir.
Okay.
It's raining heavily. Apologies
Oh
for
boy.
the same.
Bangalore.
Yes, sir, Bangalore.
Yeah. The rains have disappeared from Bombay. We'll just wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll get started. So people are still joining in. So
अनिल जी गुड इवनिंग।
good evening, Dr. Rajkumar. कैसे हैं आप? Hello, can you hear me?
यस सर वी कैन हियर यू।
Yeah. Yes. I asked, how are you, sir? मैं
ग्रेट
रिक्वेस्ट
ग्रेट
यू टू स्विच
सुपर।
ऑन योर वीडियो। आप वीडियो चालू करेंगे तो और भी बाकी लोग को भी मोटिवेशन आएगा वीडियो चालू करने का।
गिव मी अ सेकंड।
Yes. Oh, good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Okay. Manjulata, Pravina, Saurav, Uma, please switch on your videos. We'll get started now. And I want to invite all of you to make this very interactive. Ask me a lot of questions. If you have experiences to share, please share that also. I budgeted about 30 to 45 minutes, but if we go a little over or a little less, either way is fine with me. Not a very long, drawn, presentation in that sense. Uh, so just give me a moment. I'm going to share a screen with you. Okay. All right. Okay, welcome everyone. I am so glad that you were able to make it to this Zoom masterclass that I have announced, which is on the topic of working through complex emotions like grief, guilt, regret, and shame. Uh, Now, some of you know me from before, like Rinku, Pratima, Amrita, you attended my trainings. Some of you know about me, and some may be completely clueless as to who I am. So before I proceed further, let me take a few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Anil Dagia. I am a PCC credentialed coach in the world of ICF. ICF stands for International Coaching Federation. I'm also a master trainer of NLP, and I have designed my own courses which are accredited by ICF. So I'm a master trainer for those courses as well. A little bit about my background. Uh, so I used to be in the IT industry for over 20 years, and then it so happened that I got introduced to neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, in 2007. And like it is with everyone who finds NLP, it's like you found a new religion. So I found a new religion, and lo and behold, before I knew it, in 2011, I quit my career of IT industry, the corporate career, and I jumped full-fledged into coaching and training using NLP. And at that time in 2007, NLP, at least in India, was still not as popular as it is today. So you can say that I was one of the early, not the earliest, but still in the early stages of adoption of NLP in India. And then 2014 November, so people who have attended my trainings, you know that I'm constantly looking for new ways to add value, new ways to do things. And in that endeavor, in that search, I found International Coaching Federation, ICF, looked at their standards, and I said, okay, let me apply my NLP practitioner course and my NLP master practitioner course for accreditation by ICF for coaching, because I am coaching and I am teaching people how to coach using NLP. So in November 2014, I got those courses accredited. And by an off chance, I asked them how many other NLP courses are accredited by ICF, courses that contain NLP content. So I have an email from them which says, from India, you are the very first course that has any degree of NLP content to be accredited by ICF. And across the world, there were 5 other organizations that had NLP-based courses accredited by ICF. So I went to their websites and I looked at what they offer and how things are with them. What I found was that with those organizations, you had to first get your NLP practitioner and master practitioner separately without the ICF banner, and then come for the ICF accredited course for coaching. Now that's different, because in my case, it was my NLP practitioner, NLP master practitioner courses, both accredited by ICF. So I proudly started announcing to the whole world that I'm the world's first NLP trainer to get his NLP practitioner and master practitioner courses certified and accredited by ICF in the coaching world. And not just me, there is a trainer, a master trainer in GCC in Dubai. Her name is Carol Talbot. She is like, in the GCC world, she is the biggest name in personal development. Like how Tony Robbins is in the whole world, Carol Talbot is for the GCC countries. And she called me up and she said, Anil, you don't know what you've done. And for a moment, I was like, oh my God, she's calling me. I don't know what I've done. Means, have I done something wrong? I was a little scared. But then she said, relax, relax. She said that I'm clued into the ICF world, and the ICF world looks down upon NLP. And what you have done is you have given credibility to NLP in the ICF world. You've changed the landscape of NLP. You've changed the landscape of ICF. So that was 2014. That's my claim to fame. And today, if you look at courses which are coaching skill development courses, whether ICF, non-ICF, NLP is just about everywhere. Sometimes I think even that Dolly Chaiwala must be an NLP trainer. Who knows? That's how NLP has become today. But then since 2015 till now, I have also evolved. So my trainings are no more just NLP. I've introduced many other things in my courses, from the domains of psychology, mainstream psychology, logic, philosophy, pragmatism, behavioral psychology, social psychology, CBT, even mindfulness. So my courses are no more about NLP alone. They are about a complete total transformation for people. So that's a little bit about me. Does anyone have any questions to ask about me at this point of time? Please feel free to ask questions. I'll be happy to answer.
Anilji, I
Okay.
think each one of
Yes.
us are more interested in the technical side of the subject, the
Yes.
content.
I'm coming. Yes,
About you,
I'm
we
getting
can
into
read
there.
on LinkedIn, we can read
Yes.
anywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll get started right away. Okay, it's also important for me to establish trust with people who don't know me. So just that 5 minutes is enough, more than enough. Okay, let's get into the topic of complex emotions, and let me share with you why am I speaking about this? Why am I passionate about it? Why have I chosen this as my topic to come out of hibernation and conduct a in-person workshop after 5.5 years? I've been doing my trainings only online for 5.5 years, first time. So the thing with complex emotions, and I'll talk about what are complex emotions and why they matter in a moment. I have, in my line of work as a trainer and as a coach, I have come across many people who seem to get stuck in life. It's like I know everything that I've got to do, but I just don't have the energy to do it. I do it half-heartedly. People will say it's like I've lost myself. And even if like someday there is that drive of motivation and yes, come on, I'll go back to being my old way. Yes, it'll last for a couple of days, and few days later again something will happen and the whole castle will fall like a paper castle. It just falls. I myself have gone through a phase for about 3 years from 2021 to 2023, and those of you know me from my trainings and have been very closely familiar with my work and been in close contact with me, you know that it was a very tough phase, and I knew what I was supposed to do, but it's just no way I was able to. I can keep saying that there were circumstances of life, external circumstances, because of which I had to manage them and I couldn't focus on my work. Fine. But then circumstances keep coming, keep going. I felt like I had lost a little bit about myself. And then when circumstances stabilized after that, also it took me more than a year to figure out who I am. I kind of lost myself. More than a year, in fact, about a year and a half, and still it's an ongoing journey. Things that I knew how to do, what to do, I'd completely forgotten them during this 4.5 years. Completely forgotten. And it took a certain activity. So I am also enrolled in another course, a coaching program called Way of the Champions with my mentor over there, Thaddeus. And I volunteered myself when a particular question was asked to speak about it. And then he took me through a coaching, and then I realized, oh boy, I didn't realize that I've been going through a cycle of grief. And grief is one of the complex emotions. So like that, there are many more complex emotions. So if you have ever experienced this, or if you know someone who seems to be like very competent, very capable, very intelligent, but why is he or she not doing what they're supposed to do? Why? इतना तो बोला उसको, क्यों नहीं कर सकते? क्या मोटिवेट करे, कैसे मोटिवेट करे, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. So if somebody is in that state, you know somebody, or if you are yourself in that state, it's not just laziness, it's not just procrastination. It's a web of complex emotions that you're going through, and life will feel stuck. So with that, let me explain what is it that are complex emotions. So when we talk about complex emotions, let's first talk about basic emotions. Basic emotions are like when you speak about the color, you have 7 basic colors: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So there are basic emotions like anger, fear, sadness. They are primary emotions, basic. What happens with colors is when you start mixing different colors and different quantities, you start getting different shades. And that's what complex emotions are. And not just feelings. So you're not just feeling different, you're not just mixing different feelings. You're also mixing thoughts, you're mixing memories, you're mixing judgment, you're mixing identity, your sense of who you are, your beliefs, your values, all of them put together, they form this mixture or like I say, a cocktail of emotions. Basic emotions are like an espresso shot or an Americano at max. Okay, so you have an espresso shot, pour water in it, Americano, no sugar, no milk. Simple. There's no mixture of taste. Cocktail, it's like you mix several drinks together and you don't know what's hitting you when. And it keeps hitting you. And examples are grief is like that, guilt is like that, embarrassment, shame. So think of it this way. If you have experience, or if you know someone who experiences different range of, flux of feelings, and you don't know what's going on with you, most likely you are going through this web and cycle of complex emotions, multiple of them. Now, I have a small activity over here. Would you like to take part in an activity? Very small activity. You don't have to share anything. You don't have to, I mean, if you feel like sharing, please share. So I want you to recall a moment in your time, in your life, some moment where you were in complete emotional overwhelm. It's like, I don't know what's going on. Your mind is complete brain fog kind of a thing. And when you recall that moment, identify and name what was the dominant or primary emotion you can recognize. Write it down somewhere. If you want to put it in the chat window, put it in the chat window.
Can you repeat that, Anil?
What was the dominant or primary emotion you can recognize in that moment of emotional overwhelm? One primary strongest feeling, anger, or total sadness, or fear, I don't know, some prominent. And then identify and name 2 to 3 other emotions that are also there along with it. Write it down, and you will realize that it wasn't just one emotion. It was multiple emotions, maybe more than 3, maybe more than 5. That's what a cocktail does to you. When you mix drinks, your body, your mind, everything goes for a complete toss. That's what happens with complex emotions. When you get caught in the web of complex emotions, your mind and your body, everything goes for a toss. You don't know what's going on. Why these complex emotions matter? Because what happens with basic emotions is, basic emotions, suddenly there's a cockroach, or suddenly there's a dog, aggressive dog barking at you, or suddenly there's a snake that comes around where you're walking. For a moment, you feel that fear. But then once you're safe, that feeling disappears. It doesn't stay with you. So basic emotions are fleeting, temporary, short-lived. But when we talk of complex emotions, they are long-lasting. They last a lifetime. For people, they can last a lifetime. Why? Because people don't even realize that they are caught in that feeling. So when I referred about my coaching, I was coached by Thaddeus. So during that coaching process, he asked me to name what is the feeling you're having. I said, I can't. I don't know what the feeling is. He said, whatever first word comes to your mind, say that. And I said it. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't know that I was going through this cycle, through this. For years, I've been going through it and I didn't know I'm going through it. That's how complex emotions are. And it affects your self-image, it affects your self-worth, it affects your confidence, it affects your relationships, it affects your physical health, it definitely affects your mental health, it affects your finances. Because if you're not operating at your best, how do you expect to operate at your best in your work, in your business, in your relationships? How do you expect to take care of your health in the best possible way? You can't. life becomes stuck. Anyone has any experience you would like to share, either of yourself or somebody you know?
Yes, I would like to share.
Please.
Unless someone wants to share, I'll share after 5 minutes. It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can share.
Well, I think it's the saddest of things that can happen to a woman. Some months back, my husband fell sick. Was rather a professional doctor, so he knew what was happening to him, and he had to be hospitalized. And his health was sadly declining, and nobody in this in the medical field could do anything. So he knew he's going to die after some time. Nobody could hide from him. The doctors had told me, I'm not a professional doctor, but I understand because my husband is a doctor. And the doctor in charge who was treating him told me he's going to die. He says maximum I can give him is 6 months. And exactly by just 6 months before, and before it could end, my husband expired. So during that time when I was just, helplessly looking and nobody could do anything, doctors couldn't do anything. My husband being a doctor, we couldn't hide anything from him. He knew he's going to die, but he was very courageous enough to call all his relatives and cousins one by one and speak to all of them. He was conscious. Just 2 days he was not he was conscious throughout. Only about 2 hours before he died he was not. So he called all his relatives one by one, and I said, oh, hats off to you. How could a person have so much courage in face of death? Death was imperative. Nobody could stop, nobody could do anything. The medical profession, all the great doctors, my husband was a great doctor, but the others all were at his feet ready to help him, but nobody could do anything because there was some major nature takes over beyond medicine. And then I realized relationships don't matter, health doesn't matter, finances don't create miracles. All that you can do is you can just look up to God and say that's what it is. Or if you don't believe in God, then it is destiny. This is what I was geared for.
And thank you.
And all
Thank you
that
for the
I could
heartfelt
do is, lessen his last suffering in the last days by various means, medical, non-medical, emotional. So nothing I think could be more serious for a person than he's dying and he knows he's dying.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part.
Yeah. True. Thank you. Thank you for the heartfelt share, Mangala. And
Yes.
here's another thing, right? Complex emotions are very misunderstood also, or rather, we do not have a proper understanding, because the common perception when we talk of something like grief, the common perception is grief is when somebody dies or a relationship breakup has happened. Okay, but that's not all. Grief comes up in so many different shapes and sizes for so many different things. Okay, for example, somebody may lose their job, and then they go through this whole, why me? Why did I lose my job? What to do? Sometimes put effort into finding a job, doesn't work, especially if the market conditions are bad. Then frustration, anger, so many things will keep coming up. But that's also grief in a way, because something you were attached to for a long period of time has been taken away from you. Something like guilt. Guilt is one of the strangest complex emotions. Guilt is supposed to be that feeling which is supposed to be a part of your moral conscience. That if you do something wrong, then you feel guilty, and that will stop you from doing something wrong, or it'll make you do something right to fix what you did. But then guilt can show up in something like this, that I am grieving. How can I move on with my life? If I move on with my life, then I'll be doing something wrong. So therefore, guilt will lock your grief in and not let you come out of the cycle of grief. and then embarrassment and shame. People, we kind of hear of these words as if somebody said something or did something to shame someone else. But the feeling of shame is within the person. And that shame will then come with an assortment of, I should do this, I should not do this, I should not do this, I should do that, which includes what feelings I should feel, what feelings I should not feel. So shame will act like an orchestrator of which feelings you should feel, which feelings you should not feel, which feelings you should avoid, throw out. But then you cannot avoid feelings. You can lock them up, you can bottle them up, but you cannot. Basic emotions are simple. They'll come, they'll go. They'll come, they'll go. But complex emotions, this whole thing traps it in. And you're caught. So thank you for that share, Angela. Anybody else
Thank
would
you.
like to share?
I think is it also when you say that there is a complex shame or embarrassment, is it in any way related to culture?
That also, culture means a collection of values and beliefs, which is not just my own individual values and belief, but also of society. So yes, that also comes into picture.
So it is culture which makes you more, what shall I say, embarrassed and shameful in a particular situation, more than your own self or your own
Culture,
feelings.
culture is one aspect of it, but my own values and beliefs is also going to play a role. What situation I am in today versus what situation I may be in at a different point of time. When we talk of complex emotions, it's like anything and everything from the world can contribute to it. That's the point I'm making, that complex emotions are complex. Everything affects it. Culture affects it. Language affects it. Where you're staying affects it. Everything affects it. That's why they're complex. But nothing can be pinpointed. This. You cannot pinpoint anything. All you can say is, if you're caught in that web, all you can say is, I'm stuck. And I don't know how to come out of it. People will motivate you, people will push you, but you will be stuck. And maybe you will have sometimes some progress, but unless you do the core work within to deal with them, to work through all these complex emotions, to release them, the progress will be like at a very slow speed, and many times it will be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, maybe even 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Anything else? Anybody else has a share? Anybody else has a question to ask?
Which would be stronger, a person's inner self to get out of the grief, or uh, those around us who are close, or both? Which, I mean, I do
Both.
understand both play a role, but is there any proportion to it?
See, ultimately it is you yourself. Ultimately it is I myself. I've got to do the work, inner work. You've got to do your inner work. Everyone has to do their inner work, ultimately. But the others play a role. Why and how the others play a role? Because, like I was sharing my case, right? I didn't know what I was going through. And for so many years, I've been struggling and I've been going through my phase, and I've been through a terrible phase. Or at least I like to say that I've been through a terrible phase. I mean, then I'm not going to get into this whose terrible is more terrible than the others. Okay. For me, my terrible is terrible. And so many friends tried to help me, Anil, do this, do that. I did those things also. Somebody said, Anil, just focus on your body. You used to do exercises, get back into doing exercises. I did that. I got myself six-pack abs. 31st December 2024, I showed off my six-pack abs on social media to people. Still have them, okay, at age 55. And still, something is still stuck, not yet. And that's where it requires somebody who, in my case, it was Thaddeus, who got me to identify what I'm going through. And that kind of, it was like suddenly the, the clock hand just shifted from here to there. The counter just tipped. It was like a massive shift happened. And since then, it's a progressive journey. Since then, uh, uh, that's how I got this whole the idea for this workshop, and to do this workshop, a full day intense workshop, in-person event. I got this idea one of the nights while I was in half asleep state. And then I started announcing it. I announced it to people. I arranged for booking the venue, did all of that. And during this process, 2 weeks, I was down with loose motions and diarrhea. And I like to kind of rationalize it for myself as if that, finally the toxins have released from my body. And then I said, okay, if I'm going to do an in-person event, let me also do a webinar. Let's talk about it. This is the topic I want to talk about. Many people go through it without even realizing you're going through it. And this is something we need to address in society, something that we need more awareness for, because everybody talks of emotional intelligence. अरे काहे का इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, इधर बोलते हैं ना, जिंदगी झंड हुई पड़ी है किसी की, उसको तुम क्या इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस पढ़ाओगे? No, these are all academic models. What I am sharing with you is not just academics. There's part to explain some things I'm drawing from academics, but it's my lived experience as well as of the people who come for my trainings and whom I coach personally. And some of you who are here, who are present and who've been part of my trainings, and I have coached you, you know what I'm talking about.
So,
You know,
Anil,
none
I
of us
have
is alone. Yes,
I
Amita.
have a question.
Yes.
Just coming, I mean, just thinking aloud. So, yes, I personally like have have the experience. I won't say experienced. I would say I'm still experiencing the stuckness due to grief, a combination of grief and fear. Yet I have seen. I want to be brief about that example because it's too personal and I don't want to explain too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Of two women, a very old woman who lost the good son. She's lost a lot, and finally losing the good son was kind of a final blow for her, or the penultimate blow. She has not been able to recover from it.
Yeah.
I know age is a factor, but I know her to be a strong woman too, in a way. Strong, stubborn, or whatever you call it. I know another woman who is very young, a little older than me, losing her son at a prime age, only child. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say she's stuck. I wouldn't say she's completely recovered, but she was like, tighten your belt, move on, and she's whatever, she's indulged in therapies, I don't know what, but she's gone into spiritual. There's a part of her which is moving on, can see, but I can still see she's, you know, people say, oh, I don't think she's putting it under the rug. Yet I know she's a denial or whatever you call it. So there are two different kind of energies. One is like so stuck, given up on life, and whatever, and the other one is still wanting to have life, in spite of the fact that, young age, young mother, young age, prime age ka son dying, it's a total different ball game, and she still wants to live. So, but there are
Maybe
tools.
the second friend, maybe the second person has dealt with the complex emotions. I mean, I can't say. Nobody can say for sure. Okay. But I'll tell you something, when it comes to the loss of a child, look at the way, whether it is English language or Hindi language, if you lose your spouse, you have a name for that. You're a widow or a widower.
Yeah.
If you lose a parent, you are an orphan. But you don't even have a word for when you lose a child.
Yeah.
Even a word doesn't exist.
It's better it doesn't
Then-
exist. It's better it doesn't exist. Because otherwise you're
Yeah, but
always looked at, created by that image only, as if nothing else exists. So good there is no
maybe,
word.
maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I'm just
No, people
remarking
still,
on
even
an
if it,
observation.
no, even if it doesn't
Yeah.
have a name, people still do look at you in that lost space, and
Yeah, and
that eyes remind you of that loss. Trust me, it is painful. You don't have to have a name or have a name.
you know what? The other thing is, everybody around will, well-intentioned, well-meaning people with the
Yeah.
best intentions, best hearts will say, you got to move on. You got to move on.
Yeah.
And that then creates the feeling of guilt. I'm not allowed to feel what I'm feeling. I should not be feeling what I'm feeling.
There's anger.
So
There's a lot of anger there. Yeah.
then there's anger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
you just get
why? See, I have something else to say. You may be having sadness, sorrow, grief, or another stronger word for that. But why should it dominate you for the rest of your life? Or why should it
It should
persist?
not. See, what you're saying is right. It should not. But people get stuck, and unless they identify that they're stuck because of this, unless they work through it, they'll remain stuck. They don't know any better. That's why it should not be. I agree. That is why
See,
I'm here and I'm talking about it, because I want people to become more aware of it.
life is made up of so many aspects and so many
Yeah.
thoughts and feelings and emotions and everything.
Yeah.
So if life is a basket of all that, why should one be? Yeah, agree. For a time
It
period,
should not be,
yes.
but that is, it should not be, but people do get stuck without even knowing they are stuck, without even knowing why they are stuck. What is it that is holding them stuck? It
Yeah. So,
happens. That's life. That's the human mind.
well, I think it matters who are the other members who are close to you and how well they can help you through, help you sail through
Yeah,
that.
again, exactly. So the environment, the people in the environment, everybody will have good intentions, but not all will be able to give you the kind of help that you need. Not always. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But still, people do support you. Okay, at least if you have a support structure of people around you, they will support you. Some people don't even have that. So that's
So
another story.
is it also a weakness of mind? I think so. A person.
Everything is a weakness of mind. I mean, my master Osho, okay, he says all trouble is caused by the mind. Lose the mind, and that is enlightenment. So everything is the mind. But again, enlightenment किसी को जिसको नसीब होगा उसको होगा. हम तो भाई जहाँ जी रहे हैं वहाँ कैसे जिए, how to live our lives better. And I have chosen this as a mission to speak about, let more and more people know, spread the word about this. And also, okay, before let's, would you like me to take you through a small guided experience?
Yeah.
Before that, can I just ask a little doubt?
Yes, please.
I think I'm talking too much, but I have a doubt.
No, that's
Is see, on the one hand, let's say there is a rainbow of emotions. On the one extreme, you had extreme grief. So as grief can entrench you in the sands of time, Can
Mhm.
the other extreme of, say, I don't know which is the extreme, maybe happiness or ecstasy or another terminology which will express the highest point of happiness, can that ever entrench you? Or is there a
Okay,
possibility?
so I'll use a metaphor from my mentor Thaddeus. Okay, have you seen a pendulum? Pendulum
Yeah,
just hangs
yeah,
like this,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it hangs. Let me just mimic a pendulum over here. Okay, so
yeah,
let's imagine this pen is a pendulum, right?
yeah.
Now, if you say that, okay, I'm going to get stuck only over here, which is happy, or let's say it's sad, right? You cannot be stuck because now the pendulum is going to be, gravity is going to act on it and it is going to swing the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when it reaches the farthest end, it is going to swing back. Now, if it is stuck at any one place, either here or in between, wherever, let's say if it is stuck
Hmm.
here,
Hmm.
let's say in extreme happiness, on its own, it cannot stay stuck in happiness. Something has to act on it to hold that happiness in place all the time, which is basically the mind. And that would be an example where I would relate with a song. तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो क्या गम है जो इसको छुपा रहे हो. If somebody is stuck in extreme happiness, it is, in my opinion, it's an avoidance tactic. They're avoiding to feel the full range of emotions. A healthy human mind, the emotions you have to navigate through all emotions, not stay stuck anywhere. Wherever you get stuck, that's stagnation. If a water pool is just lying somewhere, stuck somewhere, it's going to stagnate, it's going to become dirty. So also with our emotions. Does that answer your question, Mangal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So small guided experience. Okay. Uh, you don't have to share it with me. You don't have to share it with me. But I do want you to close your eyes and do this in your imagination. In your imagination, identify some emotion that you're either avoiding or something that you keep feeling recurringly and you just don't want to feel. You're like, you want to, I don't want to feel upset. I don't want to feel sad. Something like that. So identify something like that. Keep your eyes closed. Close your eyes, lean back, and then connect to this feeling for a brief moment only. Not for a long time. I know it's an unpleasant feeling, but just for a brief moment, connect to this feeling. And then take very slow and very deep breath in. Count from 1 to 7 to take your in breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And release your breath at the same speed, slow speed. And then imagine as you take each breath in, a ray of fresh air spreads over this feeling within you. And then as you exhale, imagine that anything which is stale is being released with your exhale. So when you take your breath in, feel the freshness of fresh air. Imagine that you're somewhere in Switzerland, not in Bombay, not in the polluted cities over here. Some absolutely beautiful, wonderful, fresh energy. And with that fresh breath, the fresh energy spreads all through you. And then as you exhale, anything which is stale just releases with your exhale. Do that 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times. 10 full deep breaths, fresh energy in, spreading throughout you, and staleness exhaled out with your breath. And then go back and check in with that feeling. What happened to that feeling?
It reinforces and settles down
What do you mean reinforces?
because you're taking that same breath again and again. So it reinforces.
Same breath.
Well,
Same breath.
yeah, I mean, human beings breathe the same manner. So it's the same breath in that sense.
Yeah, you see, let's hear from someone else if someone else has something to share. Let's see how they describe it.
They're through just as an awareness. Yeah, it creates a
Actually,
certain
what I
awareness.
experience is,
Yes.
see, when I'm focusing on my breaths, naturally my whole intention is to focus on my breaths. I'm counting the breaths, like as you said, 1 to 7, and
Hmm.
counting out the breaths again 1 to 7. तो क्या वो पूरा focus ही वो sadness से हट के feeling इसी पे आ गया, the activity that I'm doing.
Changes. Yeah.
And naturally, when I'm doing it for a longer time, so my body is already getting refreshed, and I can experience the refresh. Yeah, I got the point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It actually works
So,
like
yeah,
magic. The
yeah,
whole thing, but I
you-
got that
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
you just हम क्या बोले, it's the exact feeling is like जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि like when you are focusing on something, you don't get distracted. So what we are doing, we are distracting ourselves intentionally.
Hmm.
It's an intentional distraction which is happening.
Hmm.
That's what I experienced.
Yeah.
And it got
Anybody
into that
else?
binge
Yeah,
feeling.
sorry.
कि चलो
Yeah.
करते जाओ
Perfect.
थोड़ी देर, and
Yeah.
naturally forgot.
करते जाओ, yes.
Mhm.
हाँ, naturally forgot हो जाते हैं फिर.
It's a
Very nice,
reverse
thank you.
binge activity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else? Thank you, Pinaki.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Dr. Shella.
Yeah. So in my case, now the emotions which I was having for a particular person, after this process, I could just see that face, but that anger or whatever negative emotion I was having, that was not there.
That was not
फेस
there.
बचा था उस व्यक्ति का, लेकिन इमोशंस जो उसके लिए प्रोसेस शुरू करते समय जो नेगेटिव इमोशंस थे वो चले गए थे.
Yeah. Anyone else? Shivani, Rinku, Amrita, your videos are
Yeah,
on.
I
So
can
just check
share.
your
Yeah.
videos.
So I'm going through grief from last 1 year on and off because I lost my mother last year. So yeah, I have, because I'm into mindfulness and a lot of meditations and I'm an energy healer. So I have been doing a lot of stuff, but it still triggers back and I'm working on it. But I realize that this helps. But if one wants to get off of this feeling of, at least I'm talking about grief right now, we need to go deeper.
You need to. All of us, we need to go deeper if we're recognize. Yeah.
It helps for that. It helps for that moment. But yes, we know we need to go deeper because I am going through that cycle, and I know that one day won't help.
And shall I tell you something, Shivani?
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm okay. So one thing about me is when I teach, I teach only that which I do. I never teach anything which I have not first done myself.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to suggest to you is something I'm already doing. It's the law of karma. Okay, you want something, need something, go and help other people get that.
I fully agree with that, and I believe in that. What goes around comes back, comes around.
Yeah.
I
So
am
help
helping already.
others
I'm
get
helping
that,
many people.
and that is it. And you and I, let's talk offline.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll see how, if there's a way to brainstorm and share ideas.
Yes, let's get connected. Yes.
Yeah. Rinku, Amrita,
So
Manjulata.
I've mentioned in the comments, Anil, that it's
I'm
still
not looking
there.
at the chats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's still there, but it's just there as an awareness, not
Awareness.
as an
Yeah.
emotion. It's just there. I know it's
Yeah.
there. It's more like
Right.
knowing it's there and being aware of it so I can act on it. It's like
Yeah.
the emotion was anger. So the awareness is all about knowing that there is some reason for it and it's a valid thing. So just be aware of it. That's it. It's there on the side. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yes, Anil, after
Thank you.
listening to
Yes.
Rinku here, after listening to everything and understanding the emotions and all, तो जब तक वो दिमाग में नहीं होता है तब तक सही है, सब कुछ बढ़िया चल रहा है.
Exactly.
लेकिन ऐसे ही कुछ भी करते हुए any XYZ thing you're doing, like either cooking or studying or teaching, anything, whatever you're doing, suddenly just a thought pops up about that person or that event. And
कुछ
there
कटक.
is such a sudden shift of your emotions. You know, you were so happy, or you were enjoying that thing, what you were doing, or you were just normal, you know, but out of the blue, the thought pops up. Nothing, कोई relation नहीं हुआ है आसपास, और एकदम से दिमाग में आता है, अरे ऐसा क्यों किया उसने, या ऐसा क्यों हुआ? And there is sudden shift of emotions. You were normal or happy or just, you know, enjoying that thing, and it turns into a negative anything about anger or stress or anything. And then there's no control over thought. So पूरा shift हो जाता है. तो मतलब अब आपने बोला कि इसको हम अंदर से फील करें, मतलब it's our own responsibility that we come out of it by any ways. But sometimes I feel that you really need a strong support system where you can really talk about it without any inhibitions, and then maybe it can help you to get a different perspective. Maybe we were wrong about judging that person, or because the negative emotion is we are judging the person. Why did he do that, or why did it
Everybody, yeah.
happen?
Unknowingly, people are judging.
Whatever.
Unknowingly, even when people well-intentioned people say छोड़ देना भूल जा अभी क्या कितना
But
याद
that is
रखने
not
का, even that is a
required at
judgment.
that time. That is not required
Yeah.
at that time. You need some support
Yeah.
system, somebody who would
Correct.
just really give you a third perspective. Okay, what is the situation? Talk about it. Let's have a third perspective. Exactly what happened. Maybe you get a different perspective, and then your thought process changes. अच्छा
Yeah,
शायद
but
मैंने वो चीज़
perspective shift is only as far as the mind is, the logic part is concerned. But you also
हाँ,
need
बट
to
इलॉजिकल के लिए तो देखो
navigate through
कुछ
this cycle.
नहीं है जब तक कि आप कुछ एक डिफरेंट फेज में नहीं शिफ्ट हो जाते. मतलब जो
Okay,
मेरा
now
एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, बिकॉज फॉर पास्ट 6-7 years I've undergone so many different kinds of emotions, and just because of the near and dear ones. So when there was a shift of work or shift of things, then that old emotions went off. फिर वो
the
खत्म हो
shift
गए.
is only going to, so the shift will never be achieved by purely logical thinking. It has to involve a complete somatic experience. You have to feel it in your body. Only then the shift
Then
happens.
it happens.
And only that shift is the shift which can be a long-lasting permanent shift. Yes, Pinaki.
Yes, so I just want to add a small NLP angle to it. So 3 questions can make all the difference. The question number 1 is, am I consciously aware of it, whatever is happening in my life? Being consciously aware that how I am actually feeling, the kind of emotions that is going on. Second way is, am I consciously connected with that or not? Unless I'm consciously connected, I cannot work on it. And obviously the third question which comes is, what is possible now?
Okay, I'll tell you the answer to the first 2 questions and third question. For a person who's stuck in that person is not consciously aware, that person is not consciously connected, and asking that person what is possible now is going to result in straight, I don't know. Okay. Now, what you're saying, yes, you have to bring a person to that stage where they can be consciously connected. Consciously aware and consciously connected, only then they will be able to realize.
Right.
So bringing that is the work. That is the work. That is the somatic experience that we have guide through. And if I may share a little bit about, so based on what I have discussed right now, at least one person said that you have to go deeper and there's a lot more work involved. So how many of you think that, yes, you have to go a lot deeper in this? And how many of you would like to go deeper? Raise your hands.
What
Just
is
give a
the
thumbs up or
difficult to answer because I don't understand when you say deeper means what?
like, okay, I've shared this knowledge with you, which is like about 50 minutes now on Zoom. Uh, is this something that you want to understand to a greater extent? Is this something you want to work through for yourself or learn how to work through so that you can help somebody else? So if yes, then raise your hands or put something in the chat window message. So may I share some information about the workshop that I have planned for 13th of July? Yeah, okay. So it's a one-day experiential workshop. Now, Shivani, you rightfully said one day it's a lifetime of work, right? But even one experience that I had with Thaddeus was instrumental in creating a cascading effect for me. So like that, I'm hoping that in this one-day experiential workshop, if there are 3, 4, 5 different experiences people gain, then it at least one of them can result in a cascading effect for someone. And what we're going to do in this one-day experiential workshop, it is on Sunday, the 13th of July in Bombay, Mumbai. I'll share details of where it is. What we'll do is we'll take some time decoding the cycle of grief, guilt, shame. In detail, we will go into each one of those. Maybe if we have time, we'll take up regret, embarrassment, and more such things. We will go through processes, somatic processes for emotion and belief reconditioning. We'll work with somatic release processes. Somatic means involving the body. So what we did, one guided experience was this taking in fresh energy, releasing stale. There are a lot more activities that you can do. We'll work with some powerful NLP processes. And most importantly, it will not be learning or teaching. It's about releasing. It is about working for yourself, learning to work for yourself. Now you'll say, but I don't have any of these feelings, then why should I learn? Well, if you are a coach, if you are a therapist, if you're a healer who's going to be working with others, again, you need to have your lived experience with some emotion of yours for you to be able to work with others. That's my fundamental belief. So that's what we're going to do in this one-day experiential workshop. It is on Sunday, 13th of July, 2025. Workshop details, it's an in-person event. It's one full day. It's at a 5-star Novotel hotel in Sahar, Mumbai. It includes lunch, tea, and coffee. And I've also planned post-workshop support, ongoing support. So we'll set up a community of people, either for your own supporting you, or if you're a therapist or healer or a counselor, then supporting you, spreading this work with others. And today you have so many of these workshops where you have 2,000 people and 4,000 people, success gain events if you've been to one of those. So this one is not like that. It's very, very personalized, very intimate, only 30 seats for this workshop. So those are the details. Now, if anybody is interested, then may I share the pricing details and the offer details? Would you like me to share? Just give me a thumbs up. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Yes, Amrita. Okay. So the standard price that I have announced this for is 4,997 plus 18% GST. But anyone who's attended my previous trainings, you know that when I invite you to a masterclass or a webinar or a seminar, you take your time to come and experience me, learn from me, share your knowledge. You've invested your time. And also it helps me spread word about myself. So then only for such a masterclass, webinar, seminar, I always offer a different pricing. I don't call it a discount. I never call it a discount. I'll simply call it an offer price. The offer price is 20% off, which is 3,998 plus 18% GST. If you want to claim this offer, you have to claim it by midnight tonight. And in order to do that, I will share this link with you in the chat window. So you can click on this link and I'll show you the screen of what you will see when you click on this link. Okay. So you'll see this page. You put in your first name, you put in your last name, you put in your WhatsApp enabled mobile number so that we can connect with each other in a WhatsApp community. Put your email address and you make sure you click here 14th June masterclass offer 20% off, because see, without this you will see that the price is, okay, why is this? You'll see the price is 4997, and when you tick mark over here, you'll see that the price changes to 3998. Okay, and then you click on this privacy policy, you click on by registering for this event, I accept terms and conditions, and then you click on process registration. When you click on process registration, let's just say I'll add something over here. When you click on process registration, you will be taken to the Stripe payment gateway page, which works in India. And there you will enter your credit card details, debit card details, and then you will complete your payment. Once you complete your payment, I will contact you. I will receive an email notification that you completed your payment. I will contact you and I will send you the WhatsApp community group link. You can join that community and we can start our journey together on this right away. So that's the offer that I have. Yeah, there you see. You'll see this. Okay. So 3998 plus GST comes to 4764. You will put your card information and that's it. And then you click on pay. So I've sent the link. Is there any question that you have for me? Anything else you would like me to speak about? Anybody would like to share your experience of this talk today? Yes, Pinaki.
Yeah, Anil, session was awesome. And though I didn't go much into the detail because there was a lot of complex ideas were discussed. So what I liked about that activity which you did, like, and in fact, when I was repeating it, I was counting reverse. I started with 1 to 7, and then I tweaked it a little. I thought that अगर ऐसा हो ही रहा तो थोड़ा सा और तरीके से करते हैं. So when I tweaked it, it created a better impact. And one thing I discovered for myself is that one feeling which often comes up whenever things I don't like, or when things don't go the way I want them to go, is frustration. So at least I got a trigger now with me that I can use this to get out of that zone first before the other feelings we follow, as you said, that what is the first one which is coming, and then the followers. So I just work on the first trigger, probably I can avoid the followers. So I'll definitely practice it for next couple of days consciously. And whatever my experience, I'll definitely come back to. So that's what I'm taking out. I'm taking off from taking away from this beautiful session that we delivered.
Thank you. What about others? What would you say is your one or two key takeaways?
So for me, what's coming up is, Anil, yes, I mean, just feeling that anger is not enough. I think acknowledging that it's there is first. And I think the breathing part of it helps you to just stay with it without anything else. Just stay with it without anything else. I mean, no other contamination. And it's just a part of you just need to be aware of. And I think the degree of it completely changes once you do that. That's what is coming up. It becomes an awareness on which I can act on. That's it becomes like a normal emotion, which is anger is a normal emotion.
Yeah.
But earlier it was in an abnormal proportion. So that's what is coming up to.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Rinko, Shivani,
You know, like I
Manjulata.
can call it a purposeful distraction kind of activity.
It was good. I mean, the explanation of complex emotions, especially with metaphors, it was really good for understanding. And even the guided thing it was good to bring up the emotions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I think it was I am sure it will be good when it will be a little longer because we need that time to process that emotion and then
Exactly. You need time.
work
You need
on it
time.
with awareness. Yes. So I understand.
Yes.
So in your full day, workshop, it will be fabulous because we need that time with ourselves. Sometimes we don't realize that we need that time, but we do need that time.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I'm going to
from our
make it a
routine.
very safe space. Huh? I'm
Yeah,
going to
of
make it a
course,
very
of
safe
course.
space. So if somebody doesn't want to share, you don't have to share. We'll work
No, they
through
don't
without
have
sharing.
to share. Even if they're not sharing, they can express. At least they can work on their emotions, even if they are not sharing what is happening there inside.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so we need that space because when we are in a routine with at home with family, we are not able to express those emotions. We need that safe space to come out of that bubble and process that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Shaila. Your voice is very faint. No, it's not very audible.
She's saying she has registered.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Shaila. Most welcome. I will connect with you, and we will join. The WhatsApp community that I'll create for this. Manjulata,
Yeah,
Rinko,
this
anything?
session was really good. I agree with both the things, Anil. Like it takes time to heal. Yet I also agree at one moment is also sufficient to give that change. It happens that we are going through and we are not aware, but at there one point stuck that we were earlier so good, or that being good or being a normal or something which they are in comfort zone is possible. That point when it's stuck to them, it becomes easier. But going through is very important. I believe that pain is very important a person to grow. Yet how they take it, it matters. It matters how they take it. Grief, negative emotion. We are blessed with the emotions, so only we are humans. Now, how we take it to what level is what is the growth. It's the testing time of the life, checking where you are and how you can go about. One can do it. Yet, as the other someone was saying, we need that support. कोई चाहिए सुनने वाला बस काफी है बस वो
सिर्फ
कोई
सुनने
भी हो
वाला नहीं,
सकता
but
है
also guide करने वाला. It has to be not just
हाँ
सुनने वाला,
obviously
guide, proper
that
guide करने
we
वाला.
will get that when we will get it. Just you want that, and the problem is we always search for that guidance or that support with our choice of people which we like or we want them to do. If we just open ourselves for that, yes, anyone can do it. Just they are for you, that one feeling you get it, it's done. So I believe in the pain is in all the negative emotions are important because Gabor Mate, I have gone through his videos. He says anger, how important it is, how positive it is. So I believe nuclear power is there. You can use it for the bomb or you can use for the energy. So it's depends on you how you use it. So as you said, a person need to realize as consciously. Another thing is you need a support, because that gives you the strength that koi to hai. Even you are good enough on yourself, but it gives the strength that you are not. Even after being good enough, that support makes you strengthen you more. And guidance, it does matter. If people get their guidance in different ways, and this called nimitta, whoever it may be through their own self, because few love people love to learn from themselves. जितना कोई भी बोले ना, जब खुद को नहीं लगता वो नहीं सुनता है. So his that person's learning is maybe through themselves. When somebody other tells घर का मुर्गी दाल बराबर, जब कोई बाहर बोलेगा समझेगा. So we don't know. Just keeping open is what important. How we take it about is important. So I just learned that things, and I just love the course, the today's session.
Thank you.
The best part is that nobody was judging. Everybody were open to speak their all kind of negative emotions. We always keep a mask.
Rinku.
Yeah.
Rinku, you have anything further to add? Anything from your side?
Overall, the thing is that we need to really work on the emotions, and people are really stuck. तो कहाँ से निकले कहाँ से निकले वो जरूरी था है समझने. तो yes, it's the point there.
Thank you, Rinku. All right, any other final questions before we part for the day? So do I take it, do I see all of you on 13th of July? Thumbs up. Manjulata, you're in Bangalore. Rinku is coming from Delhi. So you can definitely come from Bangalore.
Sure. To and fro, TA aa jayega.
Pinaki,
come to Bangalore.
Shivani.
I will try for sure. Let me see the dates.
Well, I cannot commit anything right now, and normally I take time to take decisions. And so for me, I'm still it's quite complicated for me, the whole approach right now. So let me just do some the notes which I have already taken.
You know, right? I'm the one who's
if I really
trained
find
Pawan
them
and
awesome,
Mahenosh.
find them interesting, I'll get back to you. But I will definitely get back with my own thoughts.
Approach, chodo, you know, I'm the one who has trained Mahenosh and Pawan, right?
I know that.
Their trainer.
I know that.
That is more than enough.
In fact, that's what inspired me to be in this session also. And then the way it has been promoted by Manjulata, then some other people. So that also attracted my attention. So I thought that since people, if you have, like Shella put it on her LinkedIn profile. So I observed the people who actually promoted it. You know, like then 4 or 5 people. Dr. Aditya also promoted it in our affinity. Yes. So I observed all of them. You know, like that way I am quite famous in my own community that I'm a very good observer. Manjulata knows what I'm talking about. Even Dr. Shella also knows what I'm talking about. So so I did observe them, and eventually that attracted my attention, and naturally I joined the session too, because I only attended your one session, which was on research.
Any final questions for me before we part for the day?
Not right now. However, I'll get back to you certain. 13th July, it is already recorded in my mind. So I've gone to the entire literature that is produced over there.
Pinaki, you and I, let's connect offline also separately.
Will do. See, I am based in Noida. So
okay.
If you're coming this side, we can meet, or if I go there, I'll meet. Like that.
Rinku is coming from Delhi, yeah.
Okay, he just said so. I don't know who is coming from where. So just to rightly said, Rinku is coming from Delhi. So I'm seeing her for the first time. Maybe we can connect. If anyone want to connect, my number is there on the screen. So you can always connect me.
हम बात करते हैं.
Yes, Anil.
Chalo, thank you everyone. Thank you for.
I'm impressed that much I can say. Otherwise, I don't come in any training session.
Actually, Pinaki inspired me to join masterclass in NLP, and then now this. So he is a great person. You can start your workshop with this support. No thought. He will help you out.
My pleasure.
I'm just looking to spread the word. Okay. I'm
Yes,
just now getting back into full form the way I used to be before
you will do.
2020. And it's an ongoing journey for everyone of us as human beings. We go through some phases of life.
Yes.
Hota hai.
I
Then you
remember
pick
your
yourself up
six-pack
and
picture which you showed in that SOS session.
yeah.
Incidentally, I have also like 55 right now. And if you
Yeah.
remember, I said in that session that like
Yeah.
after I came on this earth, it traveled around the sun 55 times. So that's why age is a number, you know.
Correct.
Age is
Yeah.
nothing else. You know, had I been
Yeah.
in some other planet, it would have been less or it would have
Right.
been more.
Correct.
That's how I look
Absolutely.
at age. So
Yeah.
naturally, my look and feel defies age.
Yeah.
And it's a great session.
Okay.
This is the second session I'm
Uh,
attending, and I really picked up a lot of information, a lot of insights. I just shared already some of them. And normally, I don't speak when I'm in any training session. I just listen. So I really like the
no, of
vibration
course.
of the session, and that's why I'm sharing to so much. I'm just talking so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And God bless you.
Chalo.
You are a great job. You're doing a great
Thank
job.
you.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah. Chalo. Take care, everyone. Good night, and hope to
See
see
you.
everybody at
Yeah. See you.
Novotel Hotel on 13th July. Bye.
Yeah. See you.